Accountex is day 2, and I'm thrilled to have with me today Murray Willson from Silverfin. Murray, good day.
Hello, how are you?
We're good. It's day 2. How is day 1 for you?
Definitely day 1's the one, right? They come in first thing in the morning with the first stand they see, so it was busy. It was absolutely rammed. And then I think kind of day 2, everyone's a little bit hungover. There's a few
after parties last night.
Yeah, definitely. I was wise. I got in the car, drove home. Yeah, a couple of beers and then I was out.
Very
so
smart.
Safe.
The camera can't see this, but you're right. You are front and centre when people come into the main entrance,
Yes.
and you've strategically done that, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we want to be the first thing people see. We're not. I mean, we're a little bit niche in terms of our target market customer. So
Okay.
not everyone we speak to is going to be quite right for us. But I think being relatively new to the UK, we've been here 3 years. Obviously, market leaders in Europe. I think it's about brand recognition for us this year. That was the big thing. So, yeah, big kind of statement stand, lots of seating space. So it's been great to start conversations with people.
Well, this is prime real estate. You've got the sofas there,
Yeah.
you've got the wonderful decor, if you like. Big investment, Murray. How do you go about measuring whether something like this has been successful for you?
Yeah, it's difficult. I think it's very easy to just say how many leads do we get off the back of it, kind of thing. How many sales do we get off the back of it? But
It's more than that, isn't it?
it's a lot more than that, because I think really we're speaking to everyone we want to be speaking to in some ways. Like, we've got a very, like I said, very niche market, and we're in conversations with a lot of the top UK firms. So we're not necessarily meeting a ton of new people here. For us, it's more about engaging a little bit more in a slightly different way with some of those people that we're already talking to.
Yeah.
And that's been great. You can sit down with them, like we said, on the sofas, you can go for a coffee with them, and just kind of build on some of those relationships that we've already got.
And it must be nice to see the whites of their eyes and shake hands and get back to face after a few years out.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, I think we booked our space on this event, a couple of years ago. So yeah, it's been a long time coming. And since then, actually, progress has really kicked on. So a couple of years ago, we wouldn't have bumped into a ton of customers here. As it's worked out, like we're seeing people all the time that are already using us, which is great, because they're advocates, and that's what you want at an event like this.
And you've landed in the UK with a bang, Murray. For people that don't know, what does Silverfin do?
So we take, if you're an accountant, you'll have clients who are using QuickBooks, Xero, those kind of systems. We take the data from those systems, we bring it into one centralised database, standardise the formats, and then the accountant can use that to go through whatever processes they have. So whatever your working paper process is, checklists, you can produce your accounts within our solution. But the thing that we're really focused on now is this insights tool. So you use the data in our solution to do a bit of client benchmarking, and you can start to go back to customers and tell them things they don't know. So for example,
Insight,
yeah, it's the proactive advisory that everybody here is talking about, right? So if you've got 10 customers in the aviation industry, and one of them is a little bit behind where they should be in terms of their debtor days, or their cash flow is not in line with the industry average, we try and provide the accountant the ability to spot those trends and go to the customer to say, look, here's something you didn't know. Yeah. And it increases the fee level, it increases the conversation, the relationship, everything.
Now you look around here, there are hundreds of vendors here. How collaborative are you with these other vendors in helping the accountants? Are strategic partnerships high on your agenda, Murray?
It is. It's something we need to get better at, and that's kind of what I've been doing this morning, is walking around, talking to other people.
Yeah. Are you a pies getting bigger kind of guy, and there's enough to go around, and let's have an open talk? Or
yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, I think for us, it's an acknowledgement that there's some stuff that we're just never going to do, and there's people out there who are really good at that stuff. So rather than us trying to be everything to every man, let's work with some people who have got some things they're really good at and acknowledge that we don't do that, but we can partner together. We can go to a firm with a complete solution. It's that kind of idea.
Brilliant. A couple more questions, Murray. Talking to the accountants as you do, what do you feel are the key skills and attributes they need to work on to be competitive and relevant over the next few years?
I think it's
a juicy question, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it is. It's a good one, yeah. And I think a lot of people have been talking about that, right? So
yeah, we've been asking everybody, so it's great to hear different answers.
It's the soft skills, isn't it? It's the people skills. I think accountants are, and I've got to be careful about how I say this, right? But they're numbers people, and I think we're moving into a time.
Oriented, let's put it that way.
Very political, yeah.
Risk averse.
They need to have a shift to become more people, and I think when you're taking people who have just trained to be an accountant, someone who's sort of 18, 19, whatever, putting them into a role where they're potentially advising a business on what they should and shouldn't be doing, that's not easy, and that's not something that anyone can just step into. So I think there's a real learning curve, training curve, in terms of not just teaching people the number crunching element, but teaching people how to deal with businesses in a way that makes them feel reputable, and it kind of builds that trust. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally makes sense. Final question, Murray. You seem like a passionate guy, and obviously being in sales, you've got to be, but what excites you most about the journey Silverfin are on and what's coming up over the next few years?
Yeah, good one. So we're right at the beginning, right? So we're 3 years in.
Whole path's ahead of you, isn't it?
The whole path's ahead. I think what's exciting to me is you look at our stand today. Clearly, there's a bit of investment there. We're willing to spend a bit of money to kind of put ourselves out there. We've got a great band. We've got a great product. I think our product team, probably the team within the organisation that excites me the most, is they've done a lot to take a product that was European essentially and kind of localise it. That's taken a long time. We're finally at a point now where we can go out, we can take on a firm of, like I say, any size. Traditionally, it tends to be the bigger ones, but we've plugged some of those gaps that we might have had in the early days, and there's some really exciting stuff coming down the road, which I can't shout about anything now on camera, but there's definitely going to be some announcements in the next year or so that should change the game for us.
Well, Murray Willson, been great talking to you. Thanks so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you.